Alright, today we're going to talk about the door schedule and the wall type, partition type. So let's look at the door. We're in the basement. We're looking at the block plans, and we see that the door, they don't have a number here. We got to know all these numbers. We need to know where to place that door, how to center it up to the block wall. So what we got to do is go to the blow up. This is the floor plan basement. We're going to go to the blow up, which is right there. Enlarge that area, and there it is. So we're in that area again. There's all our dimensions, and there's our door number. That's H0004. Now the wall partition type is right here. It says 40. It's touching our wall. See it? And that's how you know what wall you have, what rating of the wall you have, and also how big the block is going to be. On this particular job, we'll have 12-inch block, 8-inch block, 6-inch block, and 4-inch block. So just look up here. See how that's touching our wall? See the difference in this wall right here compared to this wall? That means this wall is going to have a rating, fire rating, and that says 2 minus 40. And what that means is it's a 2-hour rated 8-inch wall. And I'll show you how I get that. But you see how it's touching our wall? Then you see your door number, which is H0004. So let's find that on the plans. So you find that on the plans. Let's go to the door schedule first. Might take me a minute. Just give me a minute. I tell you what, since we're here, let's go to partition types. Tell you what kind of wall it is. All right, here, that's partition types. See if I can find it. See that right there? Partition notes. All right, so now we're gonna go to the CMU, which is right here. It's got a little chart. That's a block wall right there. And also reveals something right here. When you top these walls out, it's showing at the top, it's showing an inch joint at the top, caulk joint. That lets you know something. And if you want to know how far it comes off your columns, you go to your structurals and look under CMU Details. But you need to go all over your structure looking for any kind of masonry block, and all over your architect drawings, and looking for anything to do with masonry. When you're studying for a job, you need to go all over these plans, get these plans sunk in your head. But this has a little chart down here. Let's see. Let's do this chart. This is a regular chart. See, it has nothing attached to the wall, nothing attached to the wall, but on this one, you have something attached to the block wall. And let's say this thing is attached to your wall, right? Sometimes you have to use that to know, because they'll give you a column line dimension to that wall. They won't give you one of your block walls, so you'll have to figure out how thick that wall is right there. By looking at this chart, you can tell how thick. Now, if this wall was 43, it would be an 8-inch block, and this is how thick your wall would be. 9 inches and 1/8. So you minus off the 8-inch and you know how big that wall is, right? That way, if you have a floor dimension to that wall, you'll notice to minus that or add 2, and then you know your block line. And then you might have something like this, which happens quite often. What this is, there's going to be a concrete beam to start out. And you see how this ain't a full block? Well, you'll have a benchmark on the column somewhere, and you measure down what they tell you, and you might start out with that rip, and it'll tell you how big that rip is. But right there, it looks like they have a concrete beam to start out, which you won't have to lay nothing out. It'll already be laid for you, but you do want to check that, just in case the concrete guy messed up. But this is a stud wall right beside our wall. So if this so happened to be on our wall, and you need to know that, is if it'll say 51, it'll be pointing towards our wall. Like, what in the world is that 51? It's an 8-inch wall with a stud beside it. So there's your chart. Now, let me show you ratings here. All right, this is just your regular wall. And usually an 8-inch wall, it's going to say 40. See, 7 5/8, that's the thickness of a block. To add a joint, you got an 8-inch block. Same thing right here. If it says 41, it's going to be a 12-inch block. Same thing up here. If it's 39, it's going to be a 6-inch block. If it says 38, it's going to be a 4-inch block. All right, now, you'll have a number that sometimes where it's 2 minus 40. And let me show you what the 2 is. So there's going to be 2 kind of rating of blocks out here. This is your fire rating block, and it comes in a 6-inch, 8-inch, 12-inch, right? If it says 2 minus 40, that is a 2-hour rated 8-inch block. If it says 4 minus 40, that is a 4-hour rating block. And you need to know exactly where those rating blocks go, and you need to know it so you can order the block according to the ratings of the block in your purchase order. And you'll see your purchase order under documents, and it's up to you to order your material. So now let's go to the door schedule. Show you how to do the doors. If I can find it. Might take me a minute. They pretty close, but right there. Door schedule. Go to it, find that door. And here's how you find it quickly. We're in the basement level, HB, that's basement. And we're looking for the door number, which would be right there. Remember that 4? You follow this line over. That's how tall the door is. No, that's how wide it is. It's a double door. On the inside where the actual door goes, that's how tall it is on the inside, and then that's the thickness of the trim around the door. So you need to know that. And so I saw a detail where it has just a slight joint around the door, probably 1/8 of an inch. I saw a detail. So we're looking for that. How's the block gonna hit on the top? How's the block gonna hit on the side? All right, see that says head? That's how it's going to hit on top. Jam is how it's going to hit on the side. So let's go down there on the same line, and it's a H3 and a J3. So what you got to do, you go to head and jamb detail. And here we go. Now we're looking for the J3. And there it is. That tells me that the door, when I go set my doors, after I do my wall line, the door sits in the center of the block. See how it's centered up? And right here is also showing a small joint. That's probably 1/8 of an inch. But you might want to pose that question to your, when you have your pre-con meeting, or to your office, your project manager. He'll tell you. If he don't know the answer, he'll put an RFI asking the GC what do they want to put that joint on. 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, more likely it's 1/8 of an inch. Alright, there's your door tie. Now, that's your jamb. That's the side of the wall. Now, let's go to head. Head detail. H3. Here we go. Head detail. That tells me that the door's centering up. There's that little joint again. They're going to put sealer there. And foam installation. Also, look. See right there, we usually fill this up with mortar. It's actually calling for foam installation. So look at that. Or grout field. So you might want to pose that question. Hey, is these going to be foam installation? More likely they'll tell you before you even ask that question. But we need to know that, you know, ahead of time. Because I might want to put something special in there. It's going to be a knockout block. And you know, if it's 6 foot, and you'll have a schedule that tells you if you go 6 foot, you got to put at least 2 bond beams. With 2 number 5, you know, it'll be on your plans, it'll be on your build set, your shop drawings, which will be under documents, where you go to all that at. So that's it on the partition walls and the door schedule, which is pretty simple stuff to do. So it's very important you know those 2 things.